Some predators hunt with teeth. Others hunt with venom. But one of the deadliest hunters on Earth doesn't chase at all. It waits. Hidden in warm water, nearly invisible, it drifts without sound or warning. And each year, it claims more human lives than sharks or bears ever have. To understand this predator, we have to step into the ocean. Not the deep, dark trenches miles below the surface, but the sunlit coastal waters where people swim, surf, and wade without fear. Here, in tropical and subtropical seas, lives the box jellyfish. Most are no larger than a basketball. Some are much smaller. Transparent. Fragile-looking. Almost beautiful. Yet inside this delicate body lies one of the most efficient biological weapons in the natural world. The box jellyfish belongs to a group called Cubozoa. Unlike most jellyfish, it has a box-shaped bell and up to 15 tentacles extending from each corner. Each tentacle can stretch up to 10 feet long, and each one is lined with millions of microscopic stinging cells. These cells are called nematocysts. They are not passive. They are pressure-loaded harpoons, each coiled and ready to fire. When triggered by touch, they launch in less than a millisecond. Faster than the human eye can register. Faster than most nerve signals can react. The harpoon penetrates skin and delivers venom. For small prey, like fish or shrimp, the effect is immediate. Muscle seize. Movement stops. The prey can no longer escape. This is not cruelty. It is efficiency. In the open ocean, hesitation means starvation. The box jellyfish does not have a brain in the way mammals do. But it has a complex nervous system and 24 eyes arranged in clusters. Some of these eyes can detect light and dark. Others can form simple images. This allows the jellyfish to navigate toward mangrove roots, shallow beaches, and estuaries where prey gathers. Unlike most jellyfish, box jellyfish can swim with purpose. They pulse their bell in controlled bursts, steering around obstacles. They are not drifting randomly. They are hunting. Because they move quietly and remain nearly transparent, swimmers often never see them. And that is where the danger begins. Shark attacks are rare. Bear encounters are uncommon and usually avoidable. But box jellyfish share space with millions of people each year. Tourists step into warm coastal waters in northern Australia, Southeast Asia, and parts of the Pacific. The surface looks calm. The water looks clear. Yet beneath that surface, tentacles may already be stretched out like invisible threads. When a person brushes against them, the nematocysts fire instantly. The venom is designed to overwhelm small animals. But in humans, it can disrupt nerve signals and interfere with heart function. Severe encounters are uncommon. But when they do happen, the effects can escalate quickly. What makes this predator so dangerous is not aggression. It does not chase humans. It does not defend territory. It simply responds to contact. And because it is difficult to see, contact can be accidental. In northern Australia, warning signs appear during certain months of the year. These are known as stinger season months. From roughly November to May, box jellyfish numbers increase along some coastlines. Warm temperatures and favorable currents bring them closer to shore. During this period, local authorities install stinger nets at popular beaches. These nets are designed to reduce the risk of jellyfish drifting into swimming areas. Lifeguards carry vinegar. Vinegar can deactivate unfired nematocysts on the skin, helping prevent further venom release. This simple household liquid has become a critical first response tool. Over time, scientists began to study the venom more closely. They discovered that it contains powerful proteins capable of disrupting cell membranes. In laboratory settings, these toxins can affect heart cells and red blood cells. Understanding this mechanism has helped improve medical response strategies. But the story does not end with humans. For millions of years, the box jellyfish has played a vital role in coastal ecosystems. It regulates populations of small fish. It competes with other predators for resources. And it too has predators. Sea turtles, particularly the leatherback, can consume jellyfish without being harmed. Some species of fish have developed partial resistance to jellyfish venom. In nature, no predator stands alone. Each one is part of a larger balance. Yet the box jellyfish remains misunderstood. Its transparent body and quiet movement create an illusion of harmlessness. It does not look like a threat. But nature does not measure danger by appearance. The real turning point in understanding this hidden predator came when researchers mapped global data on animal-related human fatalities. Sharks, despite their reputation, account for relatively few deaths each year. Bears even fewer. But certain species of box jellyfish, especially Chironex fleckeri in Australian waters, have been linked to more fatalities historically than those larger, more feared predators. Not because they seek humans, but because they overlap with human recreation zones and possess venom capable of rapid systemic effects. This is a lesson in scale. Danger is not always about size. It is about biology, environment, and probability. A great white shark is powerful, visible, and rare. A box jellyfish is small, nearly invisible, and seasonally abundant in shallow water. One commands attention. The other escapes it. Over the years, coastal communities adapted. Protective suits were developed from fine, sting-resistant materials. Public awareness campaigns educated swimmers about seasonal risks. Medical research improved survival outcomes through faster response. Human knowledge became the counterbalance to natural design. But the ocean remains a shared environment. The box jellyfish continues to pulse through coastal waters as it always has. It does not know fear. It does not know reputation. It simply follows ancient instincts shaped by evolution. In the quiet rhythm of tides and currents, this hidden predator drifts. Not as a villain. Not as a monster. But as a reminder that survival in nature often depends on tools we cannot see. And sometimes, the most powerful hunter is not the one with the loudest presence. It is the one that waits in silence. The ocean is not the only place where a hidden predator thrives. Far from tropical coastlines, in forests, fields, and even suburban backyards, another quiet hunter waits. It is smaller than a coin. It makes no sound. And most people never feel it when it strikes. The tick does not look dangerous. It does not have sharp teeth or visible venom. It does not chase or stalk. Instead, it practices patience. Ticks belong to the arachnid family, related to spiders and mites. There are hundreds of species worldwide, and several are found across North America. They prefer areas with tall grass, leaf litter, and shaded woodland paths. Places where mammals pass by. Unlike predators that actively pursue prey, ticks rely on a strategy called questing. They climb to the tip of a blade of grass or the edge of a leaf. Then they extend their front legs. They wait. When a deer, a dog, or a human brushes against the vegetation, the tick transfers onto the host. The contact can take less than a second. Once attached, the tick searches for a suitable feeding site. Warmth and carbon dioxide guide it. Its mouthparts are specialized for anchoring securely to skin. And here, the tick reveals its true strategy. It is not the bite alone that poses risk. It is what the tick may carry. Some ticks host microscopic organisms, bacteria, viruses, or parasites, that live inside their bodies without harming them. When a tick feeds, these pathogens can pass into the bloodstream of the host. This is how diseases like Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and ehrlichiosis are transmitted. The tick itself is not malicious. It is a vector. A biological bridge between wildlife and humans. In the United States, the black-legged tick, also known as the deer tick, plays a major role in spreading Lyme disease. Its range has expanded over recent decades. Warmer temperatures and changes in land use have created favorable conditions for both ticks and the animals they feed on. White-tailed deer populations have increased in many suburban areas. Rodents thrive in fragmented forests. As these animals move, ticks move with them. Cause and effect unfolds quietly. More deer lead to more adult ticks. More rodents support more juvenile ticks. And more human interaction with natural spaces increases opportunities for contact. Unlike shark encounters or bear attacks, tick exposure is often unnoticed. The bite is painless. Ticks release compounds in their saliva that reduce discomfort and help them feed undetected. A person may only discover the tick hours later. Or not at all. Most tick bites do not result in disease. Transmission often requires the tick to remain attached for several hours. Early removal significantly reduces risk. Yet because ticks are so small, especially in their nymph stage, they can be difficult to spot. This is where the hidden predator becomes especially significant. In terms of global impact, mosquito-borne diseases account for the highest number of vector-related deaths. But within the United States, ticks are among the leading carriers of vector-borne illnesses. Their influence extends beyond individual cases. They shape public health strategies, influence land management practices, and drive medical research. Scientists study tick saliva to understand how it suppresses immune responses. They examine tick genomes to identify vulnerabilities. They monitor seasonal population trends to predict outbreaks. The more researchers learn, the clearer the pattern becomes. Ticks are not expanding because they are aggressive. They are expanding because ecosystems are changing. Milder winters increase survival rates. Longer warm seasons extend feeding periods. Urban sprawl creates edge habitats, transitional zones between forest and development, where deer, rodents, and humans overlap. In these edge zones, ticks thrive. The turning point in understanding ticks came when researchers shifted focus from individual encounters to ecological systems. The tick is not simply a pest. It is a signal. Its growing presence reflects environmental imbalance. Fragmented forests reduce predator diversity. Fewer foxes and owls can mean more rodents. More rodents support more young ticks. And so the cycle strengthens. Preventative measures have evolved alongside this knowledge. Public health campaigns emphasize protective clothing and regular tick checks after outdoor activity. Landscaping practices reduce tall grass near homes. Scientists explore vaccines targeting tick saliva proteins. The goal is not eradication. Ticks have existed for millions of years. They feed on wildlife that depend on them as part of the ecological web. Instead, the goal is coexistence with reduced risk. What makes the tick so consequential is not physical force. It is subtlety. A shark's presence is dramatic. A bear's approach is unmistakable. But a tick's influence can ripple outward long after the moment of contact. Symptoms of tick-borne illness may appear days or weeks later. Fatigue, fever, joint pain. Often nonspecific. Often misunderstood. Medical awareness has improved significantly over time. Earlier diagnosis and treatment have reduced severe outcomes. Education has become the strongest defense. In many ways, the tick represents a different category of predator. It does not overpower. It infiltrates. Its survival strategy relies on invisibility and timing. And because it feeds slowly, it rarely draws immediate attention. This slow pace is what allows pathogens to move between species. Wildlife serves as reservoirs. Ticks serve as carriers. Humans become incidental hosts. In forests at dusk, deer step quietly through underbrush. In suburban yards, pets explore shaded corners. In both spaces, ticks cling to vegetation, waiting. They do not calculate. They do not intend harm. They follow instinct programmed by evolution. And yet their cumulative impact has exceeded that of many larger predators. Not because of size. Not because of strength. But because of biology and proximity. As climate patterns shift and human landscapes continue to expand into natural habitats, understanding this hidden predator becomes essential. Not to inspire fear, but to encourage awareness. In nature, influence is not measured by volume or visibility. Sometimes it is measured by persistence. The tick survives by remaining unnoticed, by blending into the background of everyday life. And in doing so, it reminds us that danger in the natural world often moves quietly. Not in the open ocean. Not across mountain slopes. But in the grass beneath our feet. There is one more hidden predator. It does not swim through coastal waters. It does not cling to tall grass. It moves through the air itself. So small it can pass through a window screen. so light it can travel on a passing breeze. And over the course of human history, it has caused more deaths than sharks, bears, box jellyfish, and ticks combined. The mosquito. At first glance, it seems insignificant. A thin body. Delicate wings. A soft, almost forgettable presence. But its survival strategy is one of the most effective in the natural world. Only female mosquitoes feed on blood. They require the proteins within it to develop their eggs. Without a blood meal, reproduction slows. With it, populations expand rapidly. This biological need shapes everything about their behavior. Mosquitoes are guided by carbon dioxide. Every exhale from a mammal becomes a signal. Body heat draws them closer. Skin odors help them choose a landing site. What feels random is actually precise detection. Once landed, the mosquito uses specialized mouthparts to access tiny blood vessels beneath the skin. Its saliva contains compounds that prevent clotting. This allows it to feed efficiently and quickly. Often, the bite goes unnoticed until minutes later. But like the tick, the mosquito's true impact is not the bite itself. It is what may travel with it. Mosquitoes are vectors for some of the world's most serious infectious diseases. Malaria, dengue, Zika, West Nile virus, yellow fever. The list spans continents. When a mosquito feeds on an infected host, it can acquire a pathogen. That pathogen can multiply inside the mosquito's body. Then, during its next feeding, it may pass into another host. This cycle is ancient. Malaria alone has shaped human history for thousands of years. In tropical and subtropical regions, it influenced settlement patterns, agriculture, and even military campaigns. In parts of Africa, Asia, and South America, it remains a major public health challenge. Unlike large predators that kill directly, mosquitoes influence survival indirectly. A shark attack is immediate and visible. A mosquito-borne illness unfolds over days or weeks. The connection between bite and consequence is not always obvious. This distance masks the scale of impact. The turning point in understanding mosquitoes came with the discovery that they were carriers of disease rather than the disease itself. In the late 19th century, scientists like Ronald Ross demonstrated the role of mosquitoes in transmitting malaria. This insight transformed medicine. Control efforts shifted from treating symptoms alone to targeting the vector. Draining standing water reduced breeding grounds. Insecticide-treated bed nets created protective barriers. Public health campaigns focused on prevention as much as cure. Mosquito biology makes them difficult to eliminate entirely. They breed in shallow water, sometimes as little as a bottle cap's worth. Urban areas, rural farms, and wild wetlands can all provide habitat. Warm temperatures accelerate their life cycle. Climate change has expanded suitable zones in some regions. Cause leads to effect. Rising temperatures extend mosquito seasons. Increased rainfall creates more breeding sites. Growing populations increase contact with humans. Yet nature maintains complexity. Mosquitoes also serve ecological roles. Their larvae provide food for fish and amphibians. Adults become prey for birds, bats, and dragonflies. They are woven into food webs. Complete eradication would ripple outward. Instead, modern science seeks balance. Genetic research explores ways to reduce disease transmission without collapsing ecosystems. Some programs release sterile male mosquitoes to limit reproduction. Others study genetic traits that make mosquitoes resistant to carrying pathogens. These approaches aim not to destroy the species entirely, but to reduce its capacity to spread illness. The mosquito does not intend harm. It seeks nourishment to reproduce. Its evolutionary success lies in adaptability. From tropical jungles to temperate suburbs, it has followed human expansion. As cities grew, so did artificial water sources. As travel increased, pathogens crossed borders. The mosquito became a global connector. What makes it the most consequential hidden predator is scale. There are billions of them. They reproduce quickly. They thrive near human settlements. Their interaction with humans is frequent and often unavoidable. And while modern medicine has dramatically reduced mortality rates in many regions, the mosquito remains a leading cause of disease worldwide. Yet this story is not only about danger. It is about awareness and adaptation. Over centuries, humans have learned to respond. Vaccines have been developed for some mosquito-borne illnesses. Improved housing reduces indoor exposure. Community-based mosquito control programs lower local risk. Education empowers individuals to take simple protective measures. Knowledge becomes the counterweight to biology. In quiet wetlands at dusk, mosquitoes rise in gentle swarms. In urban neighborhoods after rain, they emerge from hidden pools of water. They do not roar. They do not stalk. They drift on currents of air. And yet their presence has shaped civilizations. When compared to sharks or bears, the contrast is striking. Large predators capture imagination. They symbolize wildness and visible power. But the mosquito demonstrates a different form of influence. Not strength. Not size. But persistence. In nature, survival strategies vary. Some predators rely on speed. Others on stealth. Some on venom. Others on cooperation. The mosquito relies on numbers and opportunity. Its power lies in repetition. One bite rarely defines history. But millions of bites, across centuries, alter populations and landscapes. The lesson is not fear. It is perspective. Danger in the natural world is not always proportional to appearance. It is shaped by biology, environment, and interaction. The box jellyfish drifts unseen beneath the waves. The tick waits quietly in tall grass. The mosquito hovers on evening air. Each reveals a truth about nature. Predation is not always dramatic. It is often subtle. And survival, whether human or animal, depends on understanding the systems at work. In the end, the hidden predator is not defined by aggression. It is defined by adaptation. And in the delicate balance between species, knowledge remains the most powerful defense of all.